I've only got a very short time, and it's the end of May. There's going to be so many people here. Even though they see me fishing, they're going to be trying to put boats and kayaks and everything else down here. Even though there's a boat ramp right up the road where there's 3 ramps and plenty of room, they'll try to do it right here where I'm fishing. So I've only got a limited amount of time to fish here this morning. This isn't my choice of where I would want to fish. Where I want to fish right now, current's just too bad, man. There's some places I can go, man. I've got triple threats, flatheads, blue stripers. The current is washing me out. It done the same thing to me last year. So the reason I'm here is I'm still hitting channel, which I want to be in the channel. And but the river is pretty wide here, so what's happening is it's taking my current and cutting it down to where it's only about half the speed here, so I can deal with it here. It's not my favorite place to be right now, but fish are fixing to go on the nest. Some are still in spawn mode, some still got eggs. Fish are moving, so I should pull something out of here. Most likely going to be a blue cat. I also can't video real long anyway in the daytime because this Sony camera overheats on me. Run it 15 minutes, it gets hot, it wants to shut off. It's got a black cover, and that video camera runs warm anyway. And then they put that black cover on it, the sun hits it, just overheats the thing. Pretty stupid idea to have a black casing on an action cam. I'm getting a small bite on this one I threw up in the creek channel here. Probably some old channel cat. I got a big river there big enough to hook a great white shark on that one. I was kind of hoping for a wandering flathead over there in that creek, but I don't want no little bites. I don't want no bait stealers. I want that clicker to start rolling. I want to pull back, and I want that fish to spin me around and start dragging me back in the water is what I want. It's Memorial Day weekend, Sunday. That's really the only break I'm getting, is the fact that people partied last night, and a lot of them are still in the bed right now because it's late morning, and some people go to church. So I'm getting a little break from that crowd. After church hours, after these old drunks get up, I'm gonna have to leave here because they're gonna be all on top of me. They're not gonna have no respect for what I'm doing. They're gonna be putting boats in here. They're gonna be running stuff on here. There's gonna be little kids running all between my lines. Some dog will try to come up and crap on my boot before it's over with.
Because you know what? Kids can be really tough on dogs.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't had anything one way or the other, but he's always around dogs.
Hey, yeah.
You know.
Get over here. Come on. Let's go.
Come on, Gatlin.
Well, it didn't try to crap on my boot, but I'm sure it thought about it. Like I say, I ain't got long at this spot. It's what I hate about warm weather. Typically, the best bite has been late at night. Problem is, I ain't been able to fish late at night this whole weekend because of the dag-blasted rain. Same thing tonight, 80% chance of rain starting about 2 o'clock in the afternoon all through midnight. So, there goes my night video. That's why I'm out here in the heat of the day. I see a lot of people on the Facebook and stuff, you know, this catfishing thing is an exploding new people thing, you know, getting dink tapped. You know, there's a lot of people doing it that used to not doing it. They're doing it because they seen some big fish get put on Facebook. They get caught into it, a catfish page. What's this? They see these guys holding up 50, 60, 80, 100-pound fish. What's this? They get all excited. You know, then you got the guys coming out with all this new gear and they're selling it, you know, and they buy all the gear and everything else, you know, and they get out there and they're new. They don't know what they're doing, you know, and season goes by. They don't catch squat. Sometimes a year goes by. They don't catch squat. Next thing you know, you see all these people posting on Facebook, I'm selling all my catfish gear. I'm done with catfishing. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, it ain't all glory days. You sit out here in the heat, you sit out here getting aggravated by people and boats, and there's some days I leave out of here with my tail between my legs, you know. Sometimes you got to go that whole season and wait till the next season. You know, bottom line is you got to show up. You got to go. You got to be ready for the show. You know. So this ain't easy. It ain't all glory days, especially off the bank. You got to keep at it, man. You got to keep trying out spots, trying out situations, and you got to be willing to do the time. If you ain't willing to do the time, you ain't gonna earn the fish. There's a few guys that will luck up on a big fish, but most of the time, if you're gonna get more than one of those, you're gonna have to work for them. I'm getting a bite. I guess he decided to spit it. He figured I was busy talking, so he went ahead and let me talk, and he dropped the bait. Big boat's gonna put 25-foot waves up here right on my fishing spot. Well, that was the first sign of an actual clicker run over there. Didn't last long. He's dink tapping it again. I mean, he's probably an old 2-pound blue cat. This is what I'm talking about, people. It ain't all glory days. I got some little dink cat I can hardly big enough to hook. And I've got Gilligan over here heading towards Gilligan Island, going to leave me 25, 30-foot waves here in a minute. Out here in the heat of the day. The whole time all some dogs coming out here trying to crap on my boat. This ain't easy, but you gotta stay at it, man. With Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan's Isle. Woo! Here comes my 35-foot waves. I might as well get me a surfboard out because here they come. I'm still getting Dink Peck to death over there. I might just go over there and try and snatch his lip off. Well, he got the best of me. See, that's what I'm talking about, people. It ain't all glory days out here. Some days it's tough, it's hot. The boats get on your nerves, you don't catch squat. This one here, been dink pecked to death. It's probably been baited. That one on the right, it's been dink pecked to death out there. I just got dink pecked to death again. At least I know there's a piece of skin left on that hook or something. It ain't all glory days. Gotta stay at it. If I get skunked and look like a pure idiot in this video, if I keep out here and keep at it, pretty soon my day's coming. And I'm gonna land the old freight train of a fish again. People think it's some kind of magic. Well, there is some experience to it. There's some gear that goes along with it. You know, there's knowing where to be and when. There's knowing how to get the bait. A lot of it's just pure luck and determination. Getting dink pecked to death again. Can't even make the clicker make a sound. Getting dink pecked on my fresh bait that I just threw out. There comes old Gilligan again. He's going to come closer to me this time and give me a little bit bigger wave. There was going to be a fish bite and they ain't now. With Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife. I did get Dink Peck right there. Maybe instead of a barge bite, I'm getting a Gilligan bite. Yeah, see, I got Dink Peck there again. Maybe it did have some kind of effect on him. I know I'm fixing to get pounded with 45-foot waves here in a second. All 3 rods getting dink bit to death. I ain't gonna cry about it. I ain't gonna go home on Facebook and put up a post say I'm selling all my catfishing gear with a little frowny face. I'm gonna go out again next weekend. And see here, the tough part of the year is still coming. When these fish go on the nest all the way, it's gonna suck out here. And I'm still gonna be throwing my lines. You can't give up, people. You gotta stay the course. The problem is, the problem is you're out here for an easy fish instead of actually enjoying the act of fishing itself. You're just out here for that easy fish. You want to put that picture up to post with everybody else. You want to compete with your buddy. You know, that's what takes the fun out of it, fishing. When you can come out here and throw baits and like being here, just because your lines are in the water and you're sitting here on this bank, whether you're catching anything or not, that's what'll make you a catfisherman. When you start the competing stuff, start wanting to do like everybody else, catch what everybody else is catching, it takes the fun out of fishing. Stay the course, do the time. Eventually, the fish will come. Even the worst fisherman, if he sticks at it, will luck up. Even if he don't have that 12-foot surf rod, if he sticks at it, he'll luck up and accidentally get some big flathead in 2 foot of water one day. You know, when ain't nothing biting. So, even if you never get the skill, if you keep at it, one day you will get lucky. But you gotta do the time for it to happen. I'll tell you what, this old cut bait bite ain't doing jack doodly squat. So while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna break out the old Little Fisherman and the old Doc Demon Deluxe and throw a red worm on a bobber. See if I can't catch me a couple live bluegills. You never know, you know what I mean? I mean, you never know. Some old flathead might be cruising in 4 foot of water out here right up on the bank. Out here in the heat of the day. You never know. Ain't my favorite time to flathead fish, but hey, you don't know if you don't throw. I'm gonna put this green sunfish on a float. What's gonna screw me up is these waves wanting to throw my float up on the rocks. It's hard to fish, man, with all these dang boats, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I got it. You never know till you throw. Well, besides the kayakers wanting to run over my float out there, that was the first sign of an actual blue cap bite. He took off and spit it right before I could get to it. But that was the first sign of a true fish. Now I'm getting pecked on again on that same rod. He's on. I kept getting these short bites where they was hitting the clicker and spitting it. So I just went ahead and locked the rod down. Ain't no big fish, but it's a fish. Fat female full of eggs. Like I say, normally I run the clicker. All morning I had these problems with them hitting it and spitting it. So when I knew that fish started tapping, I just locked it down and put my foot on the rod. And then when he hit it, it was an immediate hook set. When you get them short bites, man, you gotta lock the rod down. But it's catfish. This is a video, so that makes it a fishing video. Fishing so bad out here, I'm gonna try to catch a bluegill just for fun. Woo! Live bluegill action. What a fight that was right there now. At least I got to feel the rod bend a little bit. Thing ain't even big enough for bait. Woo! Hot bluegill action. Well, that's bait size at least. I might keep me a few of these things just in case it don't rain me out. And I might float them somewhere tonight. See if I can get into some more of that hot bluegill action. Woo! Hot bluegill action. Woo! Get up there. Shoot. I'm gonna start making bluegill videos. Woo! Look at that rod bend right there. Look at that rod bend. What a fighter. Woo! Buddy, that is some hot bluegill action right there. I'm gonna start me an all bluegill YouTube channel. Gonna catch me a whole bait tank full of bluegills on one worm. Here comes another stupid boat. There it goes. Look, oh man, another one, another good. I don't even see why people fish for catfish when you can have this much action, this much hard pulling. Oh, he's caught in that dang plastic out there. I got a big old yellow belly bluegill caught on that dang piece of plastic. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, just pulled my dang hook off. There went a king-size bluegill. That's stupid trash in the water, man. Golly, that was the biggest one of the day. Yep, there went my hook, there went my weight. That was probably a state record bluegill right there, and I lost him. I use the long shank Aberdeen style of bluegill hook. Keeps them from trying to swallow it like they try to do. If it ever gets in their throat, man, if you deep hook them, they die on you. And who wants to use a dead bluegill? They ain't got no smell. They might as well at least have a little movement and be alive. Here comes some dang dog out of the woods over there. He's gonna probably come over here and try and crap on my boat. Look at that rod bend. Look at it bend, man. Look at it bend. Get out of that plastic. Remember what I said about using the long shank and him not swallowing it? Well, scratch what I said about that. He swallowed it anyway. That bluegill is deader than hammer. Anytime you deep hook them, they dead. So, I don't want him. He is crawdad food. Anytime a fisherman tells you something, don't listen to him. Well, I guess I caught all 5 bluegills that was out there, and that was it. Oh, there he goes. There's 6 out there then. I'm gonna be here for 6 days trying to take this off the hook. Bull. I just tied this son of a... And here comes old Gilligan's Island again to give me a bunch of 50-foot waves again. I'll bet I ain't got a cut bait on one of these hooks after all these dink bites. Now I just had another dink bite. I still got at least a piece of skin left. I'm gonna check all these baits. I know there ain't nothing left on them. Started to pull my lines in because they've been out there for so long. I get one pulled in, the camera's fixing to overheat, so I shut it off. I gotta pull the other in, and it's around my other line. This channel cast just stuck on there the whole time. Well, bottom line, I pulled that other line, which I had just spooled that reel 2 days ago. Spooled it full. And now, somehow he got it in between the rock. I lost my hook. I lost all kind of stuff, but bottom line is I'm gonna have to cut about 70 yards of this line that I had just filled the spool up with. I'm gonna have to cut it off. I just put it on there. 70 yards is going in the trash because it's full of cuts and nicks. So, like I say, man, this fishing, it ain't all great trips every time, man. You lose gear, you get frustrated, you get small fish or no fish at all. Now I'm fixing to cut about 70 yards of line off this reel. Well, I'm gonna take that one that's got such bad line on it, and I'm gonna throw it out again, and I'm gonna reel until I feel the nick. And then I'm gonna cut it and pull the rest in by hand. And my reel, after just spooling it with brand new line, is gonna be half out of line again, and I'm gonna have to go re-spool again next time I get a chance. I felt it. There's two bad spots in it, one close to my shock leader, but the other one's about 70 yards back. I was about 120 yards. Of course, that's just casting a weight, you know. You can start casting the bait and get the wind resistance. It's going to take quite a bit off that. But that's the potential of the reel with a 5-ounce weight. This is a 40 size sea line. I think I just felt it there. See it right there? See that spot in my line? Right there. All that's got to come off. So there we are, about 70 yards out. I'm gonna cut that and pull the rest in by hand. You go messing around and you do hook a big fish, that spot will lose them. I got my shock leader back, and if it wouldn't have been this 80-pound Andy monster, it probably would have been in too rough a shape to reuse, but it still feels pretty good, so I'm going to reuse the shock leader. Well, I just lost another hook on that dag-blasted plastic, so I'm done bluegill fishing for the day. I'm sick of that plastic. I'm going to lose all my gear on it. I did get my sinker back. I'm going to put this in the truck. I feel like throwing it in the river, but I'm just going to put it in the truck. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, that float, with all them waves bashing it up and down, it's done rip that green sunfish off there. I picked my line up so the next person don't come down here and get all tangled up into it. A lot of people ain't that courteous though. The reason guys ain't getting fish out here is because you seen how far I just casted. That's why I'm getting fish. All this shallow water, shallow water, shallow water, shallow water. Out there's a steep ledge. I'm putting my baits over that ledge. Yeah, you can get lucky and get some wandering big fish up here 4 foot from the bank. It is possible. But 9 trips out of 10, all 99% of my fish are on them long rods out over them ledges. A little Catfish Dave 101 for you. Hope that dang dog don't come over and crap on my boot. Alright people, normally I wouldn't show a video with so much frustrations. I wouldn't be out here in the hot part of the middle of the day. You know, little fish on video, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm trying to do is demonstrate. You know, I see these guys posted on there, I'm selling all my fishing gear. I'm not catching anything, and they're not catching anything right where I've just been catching something. And it's simply, you're gonna have to change your gear up, man. If you're off the bank, and you're throwing your baits out there 10, 15 foot all the time in this huge reservoir, you know, you're only going to cover so much water. And basically, I'm showing that this fishing isn't all just easy, you know. You don't just come out and catch big fish. You work for these big fish. You come out time and time again. You lose brand new spools of line. You break off. You get hung up on stuff. You get a bad biting fish or a bunch of small fish in the area, or even no fish in the area. Like I say, people want to be a instant Facebook catfish hero, and it ain't that easy. The guys that you see consistently getting big fish over a year-round period are putting their time in. They've got the gear, they've got some experience, and the only way you're going to get all that is to go ahead and dive in and get the gear and spend the time on the water to get the experience. Bottom line is, it's not easy all the time. You're going to have to put in the work. Don't get frustrated. If you're in a reservoir that has big fish and you do what you have to do, put in the time, you will get a big fish. So don't sell all your gear unless you simply just can't take it no more. And keep throwing, man. Keep putting in the time. You never know until you throw. This is Catfish Dave signing out.